Some people would argue that the first Bloodline game was a grand RPG but a flawed gem of a game. Some would say that the combat was underwhelming. On the other spectrum, you had others that would say it was a diamond in the rough. It created a fairly believable world and that it gets the atmosphere just right. It's dark, it's gloomy, and you're surrounded on all sides by characters who could be your friends or enemies. The game was called a flawed masterpiece by critics, and it did, however, gather a cult status among many fans. Gamers can't wait to get their hands on Vampire: The Masquerade Bloodlines 2, and it's evident as it's the third most followed upcoming game on Steam. It's been quite a ride for Vampire: The Masquerade Bloodlines 2, from the excitement of its long overdue announcement back in 2019 to the sad flame out 2 years later that led publishers to delays and almost having the game shelved completely. The question is, will this game see the light of day and become successful, or will it slowly disappear? Who's behind the project, and what's the game about? If you're interested in any of these questions and more, then join me in taking a sneak peek at Vampire: The Masquerade Bloodlines 2. And if you guys enjoy this video, please consider liking and subscribing and hit that notification bell to help the channel grow. And with that out of the way, let's get back to Vampire: The Masquerade Bloodlines 2. Vampire: The Masquerade Bloodlines 2 is an upcoming action role-playing video game published by Paradox Interactive. It's a sequel to the Vampire: The Masquerade Bloodlines, and it's being developed by an undisclosed studio at this time. In the Avanza interview, Paradox CEO Frederick Wester did say the developer is a very reputable and talented developer who has made a number of different games in the past. In case you are unable to access the website, you can read the Bloodlines 2 development update here, and it reads: Good morning everyone. As you have noticed, we've been keeping pretty quiet for a while. With this in mind, the first piece of news we have for you is to confirm that Bloodlines 2 is still in development. Secondly, we have made the hard decision that Heartsweet Labs will no longer be leading the development of Bloodlines 2, which also means that we will not be releasing in 2021 as previously planned. Since we cannot at this time communicate a new release date, we've also decided to stop accepting pre-orders for the time being. This game is very important to us, and it has been an ambitious project from the very start. In order to keep our goals from it, we've come to the conclusion that a change is needed, and as a result, more development time is required. We'd like to take this opportunity to honor Heartsweet Labs for their efforts and thank them for their hard work on the project. The studio has done a tremendous job in laying the foundations for the game, and we hope that you, the community, will also appreciate their contributions to Bloodlines 2. We're thankful for your continuous support throughout the game's development, and we understand how important this is to you, and we'd love to share more with you. As soon as we can, we'll let you know what the future development team of Bloodlines 2 will look like. What's the story about? Vampire: The Masquerade universe is where vampires, werewolves, demons, and other fantastical creatures are alive and well, but keep their profiles below the public eye. Not only that, but these creatures are responsible for molding the history of the world. Bloodlines 2 takes place in Seattle. The vampires are bound by code to maintain their secrecy, forbidding the use of vampiric abilities in front of humans and avoid unnecessary killings. The vampires are divided into various clans with distinctive traits and abilities. Alongside clans, Seattle is broken up by 5 vampire factions, each bound by their own ideologies. You will play one of several humans inexplicably attacked in a mass embrace, an incident in which rogue vampires publicly attacked humans, breaking the masquerade. You're suddenly thrown into the dangerous and ruthless vampire politics of Seattle. Tensions between the factions are at an all-time high, and an inquest is called in order to get to the bottom of the mysterious unsanctioned attack, and you are the star witness. As a vampire, the player character needs blood to survive and can feed on humans, as well as rats and blood bags. Heightened vampiric senses can be used to sense resonance in blood of human victims, indicating their current emotional state such as fear, anger, pain, joy, and etc. Now, feeding on the specific resonance grants temporary enhancements such as melee strength or seduction abilities. players are penalized for using certain vampiric abilities in front of witnesses and can be hunted by cops as well as other vampires for violating the Masquerade code, which should lead to some interesting gameplay. Seattle is home of several clans, lineages of vampires that share common traits and powers passed on by blood. In Bloodlines 2, you start out as a Thin Blood. Feed your power by choosing one of the playable full blood clans, and discover their differences and their disciplines and choose just what kind of monster you want to be. Unlock your true vampiric potential and take on the Knight. You can pause the video for more in-depth info on the disciplines. The first discipline is Chiropteran. This Thin Blood discipline calls on vampires' strong affinity to bats, allowing her to move through the air and summon swarms. The second discipline is called Mentalism. This Thin Blood discipline allows the vampire to manipulate objects through telekinesis, allowing them to even pull weapons from the enemy's hands. Third discipline is called Nebulation. This Thin Blood discipline allows the vampire to call on her affinity to mist, allowing to summon and command it. The second clan is called Bruja. This clan is known as the muscle of the vampires, and if you join this clan, the signature discipline of the Bruja is called Potence. It imbues their undead bodies with the pinnacle of raw kindred strength. The other discipline is called Celerity. Some kindred strike faster, dodge quicker, and escape more nimbly than any other mortal creature could hope to. They use Celerity, the discipline of pushing their body's speed beyond all limits. The third clan is called the Tamir. They're basically blood sorcerers. Their first ability is called Thaumaturgy. Followers of this path of blood gain almost unparalleled destructive powers. The other to choose from is called the Uspecs. By expanding their own senses beyond the boundaries of their bodies, making hunting easier by spotting NPCs through walls or surveying the area in astral form. The fourth clan is called the Toreador. Their first discipline is called Presence, and they're like the enchanters of the vampire world. Their signature discipline of presence is at the root of their supernatural charm, turning a crowd into an audience or an aggression into adoration. And their second ability is Celerity, which we already covered with the Bruja clan. The fifth clan is called Venture. Their first ability is called Dominate. Their signature discipline allows them to dominate the action and memories of others. And the other discipline is called Fortitude. They're the tanks of the vampire world. They absorb attacks and harden their vampiric skin, and they can also heal. The last clan is called the Malkalvians. The first discipline is Dementation, which allows the clan's members to impart an imperfect version of their psychosis on others. For example, casting a fear spell or a berserk spell for their target to lash out uncontrollably at anything nearby. And their second discipline to choose from is the Uspecs, which we already covered with the Tamir clan. The team has promised more clans in the future. The game will be using Unreal Engine 4, and it will be released on the PS4, PS5, Xbox One, the Xbox Series, and PC. There's still no sign of a new release date for Bloodlines 2 at this point. The game does look interesting and fun. What do you think about the game and its struggles? Do you think it will be released? Comment down below. And if you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to help the channel grow. And don't forget to watch my last video of the upcoming games, Sons of the Forest or Elden Ring guides. And again, thank you for stopping by my channel. I'm Az, and thanks for watching.